Watch this, Penguin. Somebody call
Caped Critiquers.
First up with MCU news, Sam Raimi is rumored to be in the final talks to direct Doctor Strange 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've seen
that
Strange.
works.
Yeah. I feel like they just have to give him total control, really.
I mean,
But-
I liked Multiverse of Madness, so.
Thunderbolts' new trailer confirmed that the movie takes a few short years after the events of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I have no idea where, like, the MCU timeline's at this point.
That's interesting. Because I feel like that is, like, pretty early on.
Yeah,
so.
well, and right before we really started today, I was looking at stuff, and that was one of the questions about Agatha. Where does that drop in the MCU timeline? How far? It's 3 years after WandaVision. Where did that drop?
Yeah. I just feel like even the snap was a big time jump, but, like, it feels like there's just another random time jump with like 3 years.
Well, you figure she's dead, right? So it has to be after Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Well, that's, okay.
At least we don't know when after or how much after.
Yeah,
But
could actually figure that stuff all out then, I suppose.
Yeah. So I guess technically it's like 2029-ish. The Nova series will be an ensemble piece with shades of Star Trek and Battlestar Galactica, teases producer.
You like those two series?
Yeah, I'm trying to envision how that's going to work
but
out.
what is it?
Nova. I feel like that's kind of a weird character to do that with, because in the comics, the entire Nova Force like dies, and that's when the character gets interesting. So, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me,
and also-
Nova's not like the kind of character to push for. I mean, he's nice to come show up in somebody else's movie, but
I feel like he is a lot of people's like big character that they
You
like,
think?
you know?
Yeah.
Oddly,
he's a fan
he kinda
favorite.
is, yeah. He's like a cult following type of
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even in the MCU, like the entire Nova Force is dead, so I don't know how they're gonna do an ensemble piece.
Yeah.
You know?
For me, it's kind of in the realm of like maybe what I had Agatha as and what I'm kind of expecting from Wonder Man. Just maybe if it's good, and kind of just gonna wait and see what it looks like.
Amadeus Cho, who becomes a Hulk in the comics, will appear in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah, that show's gonna be interesting. I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be an alternate universe thing for sure.
Yeah.
Animated?
Just confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, if this is like a fun way to introduce some weird characters, I guess so. There's like also a Venom in that show too, or multiple symbiotes allegedly.
On to DC news. Kyle Chandler is set to play Hal Jordan.
Yeah, he's fine. I think he's a good actor. Kind of looks like Leonardo DiCaprio and Matt Damon.
Yeah.
So
Well, he's
he
in
is
movies
kinda-
with both of them, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a fine actor.
yeah.
Yeah. No,
I like him a lot.
Oh, he's going to be good, yeah.
Let's see what he does. He's a good actor.
DC Studios has announced Dynamic Duo, an upcoming animated movie about the Robins Dick Grayson and Jason Todd.
Oh, that
That should be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
The production for that is going to be incredible, if I had to guess. I saw some of like the puppeteering work that the company that is doing it. It's like a blend of animation and puppeteering, but like I honestly don't even know how they're capable of doing this, but they're like animatronic puppets kind of, where like they can press a button and it completely changes the facial expressions. It's
Really?
Okay.
really incredible looking.
Wow.
So
That's cool.
try to get a look at that if you can.
Yeah, come a long way.
Yeah. DC Studios is reportedly developing a Deathstroke and Bane movie with Captain America Brave New World writer Matthew Orden.
I bet they are.
Yeah, I've been seeing a bunch of memes where it's like, I guess I haven't read DC at all really,
Right.
but I guess Deathstroke like has something about him where he's a pedophile.
I saw a meme on Twitter
Yeah.
where it was like, Deathstroke needs Bane to help him because the plot's going to be set near a school.
Yeah.
Can't get within 20 feet.
So he has to hire another mercenary.
I guess that's going to be DC's version of Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Joker 2 has received a D grade cinema score from audiences, which is the
Oh my
lowest
God.
grade of any comic book movie in history.
So do we just decide here and now we're just not going to see it until it comes to cable?
Don't know.
I feel like that might be like a better
Yeah.
move.
I think so. I
Yeah.
agree.
So we're giving it a wait for cable rating here.
Yeah.
A wait for cable
Yeah.
rating.
'Cause-
Yeah.
I think that's proper
Yeah.
because I'm just not excited.
And again, the hype that that was about this movie was months ago. Even like it's coming out, and I didn't even know it.
Yeah.
I have heard nothing redeeming about this movie.
No, I've heard really
the
nothing
one
about it.
person that I have seen that said they liked it was Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that says a lot about Francis
Okay.
Ford Coppola going these
Yeah.
days, because I don't think he's been putting out fantastic stuff
Something
either.
I heard was like, this movie is just like a fuck you to the first movie because the first movie resonated with the incorrect audience, and like you're not supposed to like Joker. but-
Yeah.
I don't like
I don't
any
know.
movie where I'm reading about how they have to explain the ending.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of throws
Well,
me off right there.
Speaking about that, like I was just like while looking for stuff for Agatha,
Right.
like I saw stuff for Joker too, and
Right.
it's like it's not even receiving that many views,
I
so
know.
like we wouldn't
know.
be able to get that, I guess.
Okay,
Yeah.
so wait for
Yeah,
cable.
so
I
we're
like that.
giving it an
That's a good
official
rating.
wait for cable.
It's insane that a movie that crossed $1 billion and was so well received has a
Right.
sequel that is flopping
So
Yeah.
this incredibly bad.
I think he was up for an Academy Award for that.
He
wasn't
won.
Won.
yeah, he won.
Oh, he
won
for the
He
Joker.
won
Yeah.
Best
All
Actor
right.
for the Joker.
There you go.
Right, so on to the Penkeen.
The Penkeen.
I think it's possible that Oz is gonna be the top guy, and like he's gonna be like using both families as like puppets almost, if both families are still around, you know.
I say that by the end of the show, he ends up killing whoever's in power from both of the top families and just running them both, and is the number one guy in Gotham.
I feel like the thing there is that like that just makes it harder to break up, you know.
What do you mean by breakup?
Like it's easier to take control if like it's not one big thing, you know, or it's easier to keep control.
Well,
if
I'm
it's
in
not one big
agreement
thing.
with AJ, but I think more than just top guys in each side. I think it's going to be a lot more than that, where there's just the underlings left and he's running them both.
Yeah.
Of course, the Penguin himself, I mean, who did he have in tradition? Who did he have that was really brain smart in his crew? You know, he ran a bunch of,
penguins.
basically,
I mean, that's
just a bunch of hoodlums
yeah.
that listened to everything he said. I think that's what it's going to end up being.
I think like this show doesn't happen if there's no end goal to make him like the next big bad of Matt
Well,
Reeves'
I
Batman.
still think he could be. I just think like he's gonna have every like even like the big like former mob bosses below him, and he's
Yeah.
the big mob boss. He's the big penguin.
Well, I'm saying like I don't think Maroni or
Well, yeah, I think
Falcone
like
make it out.
the current heads are gonna die definitely.
This is where I have to disagree with you, gentlemen. I don't think he's actually going to be the top boss by the end of the season. I
Really?
think the daughter
Mhm.
is going to catch on to his shit.
I
And
already
know-
think she knows.
She already knows, but I
Yeah.
know she's going to fucking...
just
She's
playing.
going to
Yeah.
use him just like he's using her.
Mm.
And at the end, she's going to fucking not even get rid of him, but chase him out of the fucking city if she has to.
Mhm.
I'd say he's definitely got to wipe out the Maroney family.
Yeah.
They can't exist. And I think him and Sofia are going to be in agreement up until that last moment where either he's going to make sure she's back in Arkham, you know, for
Yeah.
good or whatever. You know, he's going to set her up.
Mhm.
But I can't imagine him killing her.
I don't
Yeah.
see it. I don't see
So he's got to neutralize her some way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
Whereas the Maroney's got to be gone.
I don't think it's any coincidence that one of the big leads in the Maronis is a woman.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that
That's
might
the
be the lead in that she kills the woman, or makes it look like
Like that, the one that
Victoria.
was at the lunch place with when they took the files.
Yes.
when they, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. That's
She's
right.
a pretty prominent actor too.
Yes.
So she was also in Succession.
Mhm.
So and The Expanse actually.
I'm gonna say my weird little prediction is gonna be Vic ends up killing the Falcone daughter.
Oh.
Maybe.
Some ways.
I feel like it's gonna be set up where Penguin has enough power where they're not gonna do the whole thing where like how Riddler was against the mob people. I feel like they're gonna do it where the mob can support the main villain of the next movie. You know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the other thing is the new drug has not dropped yet, and we still
Yeah.
don't know who has control of that.
Yeah, the new drops.
And that's going to be the big thing also, I think.
I wonder what it's gonna be. My guess would probably be the like Bane stuff. What is that? Venom, right? That's what it's called.
Yeah, right. The inhaler type.
Yeah, I could see that being it. Or maybe it's like Joker gas or something. I have no idea. I feel like it has to be something like Batman
gas.
related.
I feel like it probably isn't the Bane stuff because I feel like there was something where like in
like he already has it.
yeah,
of.
Batman has it.
But like
a version
maybe
of
it's
it.
not mass produced yet. You know?
Yeah.
Like it would make sense that a billionaire. Could
I don't know.
get
I've been
to it.
seeing like the rumor thing saying that Penguin gets a Batman power. And I'm
A
wondering
power?
what that is. So you might be right. It might be the serum.
I assume that it has to be something Batman related. Like I don't think it's gonna be like we're moving fucking cocaine.
Yeah, right.
No.
You know.
And how much more efficient can you
Yeah.
get? I mean, the drops in your eye as it is now.
Yeah. That's just why I assume it has to be like venom or like maybe like fear toxin or something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like Scarecrow's toxin.
Something Joker related, or I don't know.
I was thinking though, the setting is just kind of funny because it's like there are a lot of modern elements, but then like it's just like the city itself is just like The Godfather, you know.
Yeah.
It's just funny. I think that Victor is gonna betray Oz by using the mother against him.
I agree. He's the only one that knows where she is.
But
like,
will he
actually.
betray him out of his own free will? Is my question.
It's a good question.
I don't think he's going to betray him.
Or will Sofia have to be a part of it to force him into?
Maybe that's a.
I don't
I
see
think that's
Vic.
a pretty good.
I really don't see Vic betraying him.
I don't
but
see
I
that
do
either.
see Vic using his mom as protection for himself. You know, if like this week the episode, you know, where he thought he was getting killed again.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, kind of like laying it out that not I have set up. If something happens to me, Sophia's going to know
Where your mom?
Yeah.
where your mom is. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so I'll do what you want, but
Yeah, because that was set up.
I
He
almost
told
feel-
Sophia, Mom died. You know, she
Yeah,
passed a
right.
few years back.
Yeah.
So
I almost feel like that type of situation would make Oz respect him.
probably
more.
yes,
yeah.
100%.
Well, he's been teaching him stuff like that. You got to do what you got to do to protect yourself.
I
kid.
could also see something where like Victor gets his friends that he was trying to steal the car with, and like gets them to do it, and maybe they fuck it up, and the mom dies. So I have a feeling that the flashbacks are probably only going to be used to like look into Sophia's history. You know, I don't think we'll get anything else. But I do also wonder like why they would get somebody like Mark Strong to play the dad.
Yeah. I don't know. That is a weird choice, honestly.
Yeah.
He's a pretty big actor.
Yeah, unless it's just a waste of casting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe, something to do with just looking into maybe Oz around the family at that time as well.
It could also just be
Their
something where
history.
like they really wanted to have him, but then the original actor wouldn't return, and then they didn't want to make it seem like, oh, we're just playing it cheap, you know?
I don't know. The writing's been good enough in this show where it's like they're not going to do anything.
Imagine if they just got like some like not big actor,
Yeah.
you know? Like I feel like that would just be weird.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Give us somebody that's okay.
I-
He's not a big presence.
I
though.
feel like, for getting a guy to play young Carmine Falcone,
Well, it's not even young. It's
who's
like,
the actor is actually older than John Turturro. funnily enough.
well, you're right. Then I wondered like how far back we'll go with it, because I feel like it will only be like stuff in the mental institution.
She went to Arkham when she was pretty young, I believe, judging by the one flashback where she was like a kid and they were saying Hangman, right?
I don't think she was a kid.
No, she had to be a young
No, she was.
woman.
She wasn't.
She had supposedly killed 7
Yeah.
women at that time
Yeah.
that
Oh,
they
you
know
know what?
of.
I just feel like she was the same age she is now.
But there's something in my head that when they were kids, it seems like there was something more between her and Oz, like fooling around or something like that. I don't know. I get that vibe from every time they're together.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, they
There's-
definitely do have a history.
There's definitely
So.
but it's a deep history, like where they were friends, like they confided each other.
More than friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Exactly. But like something like that. But they were, whether anything really happened, but they definitely had an attraction to each other.
I think
For whatever
the
reason.
Just
attraction
two
is the
fucked up
kookiness
people.
between.
Maybe it is.
You know,
It-
like
it's
they
just
they
like
both
two people in fucked up situations.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, and
They
he's
both
definitely not a
see each other as
Yeah, he's
not
definitely
all
not a
bad.
sane guy,
Right.
and I mean,
Well,
he grew up definitely in a weird household.
He's got the fucked up leg thing.
Yeah.
She's kind of,
a serial killer.
yeah, she's
Well, she's also just like
something wrong with her.
people
mentally, for
don't
sure.
really trust her to be a part. Not trust, but like
Yeah,
they don't want her to be a part of the family. I
Yeah, well,
guess,
we
you
saw
know,
that
like,
with
she's
the
always
cousin.
Shafted.
yeah. The cousin was
Yeah.
sort of gaslighting her, and then the daughter came over, and then she
she wouldn't let her touch it. She
no,
got
and then
nervous.
so that woman put a target on her own head and her kids.
The one scene that I really loved was when they were talking to each other, like kind of serious, and Oz was saying how he was dancing with his mom,
Mm-hmm.
and she looked at him like, "You danced with her all night," and he like very like as if it's
Yeah.
the most normal thing. Yeah, they thought it was it was a great
Yeah.
night, this and that, and you almost see it in her eyes going, "All right, he might be fucked up, but he's fucked up like me, so
Yeah.
we're gonna be okay with this."
Yeah. It was also like interesting how the mother reacted with the daughter thing. Like I feel like that is a subtle like what actually happened in Sophia's past. Like like why protect the daughter like that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just felt like weird to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they said she strangled like 7
Yeah.
women.
Yeah.
That they
like,
know
was it
of.
girls or what?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
who knows?
women, all women,
Yeah.
or girls, or whatever.
I wonder if there's some situation where maybe like Sofia like lost a child or something.
Hmm.
Just like went
Well,
fucking.
maybe, yeah.
Do we ever know what happened to the Falcone mother?
I don't think so.
No.
Then maybe we gotta look into that.
Yeah,
There's gotta be something with that.
that's a good point.
Well, maybe we'll
Maybe-
see it in flashbacks.
Carmine had something to do with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe she's seen her own mother get strangled.
Yeah.
I think there's something more to the flashbacks as well, like Jack says, and even the way that she fixed that little girl's barrette. I think
Yeah.
that's going to come up forward into maybe we'll see. That maybe she dolled up some of these people that she strangled. So maybe it's a thing.
I know she definitely hates every fucking man in her
Mhm.
family
Oh,
right
There's
now.
no
Yeah.
doubt.
Oh, yeah.
There's no doubt.
Who will be dead by the end of the show?
Ooh.
Penguin.
So here are just ones I'm throwing out, but Sofia, Victor, and Oz's mom could all be dead, I think, and also Salvatore Maroni and whoever the cousin Falcone is.
Yeah, I see Johnny Vitti getting whacked.
Mhm.
Is Vidi the one that's sleeping with?
Yeah, he's like really the head of the family now, I guess, or the second in charge.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
both of those two guys, the
Mhm.
head of the Falcone family, maybe Sofia,
hmm
maybe Vic.
So what? The head is Luca.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Uncle
Vitti, yeah, Uncle Luca, and then Johnny Vitti is the next
Right.
in command.
Yeah. And then like Vidi's little assistant guy. Those two,
Yeah,
I think, are
yeah.
definitely done for.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting clipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, because already Castillo, he took the
Yeah,
blame.
he's done.
Yeah.
You know,
Wouldn't
you
it
got
be
you got to
shocked
give it
if-
to him, and that was a flip in the movie because I thought he was setting up Vitti, but
Right.
he knew he would have
Right.
nailed if he did that.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
Correct.
so he took Castillo was the guy who was with him.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what he did.
Yeah.
Again, he
It's
lands
just
on his feet.
Another
He's quick
one
thinking.
of those things, yeah, where it's just like
Mhm.
he somehow, some way is just like he's like the perfect like bullshit artist. Like
Yeah.
he can finagle his way out of anything.
He's charming.
Mhm.
He's ugly to look at, and he's fucked up, but he's charming.
Yeah.
There's no doubt he can get his way through.
And he's got that quick, on the spot planning ahead.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like you just said, I thought he was going for VD too. I figured
Yeah.
he's going to drop the
Yeah.
knife and
Yeah.
Nope.
but
But we saw him twice walk away from murder.
Yeah.
I mean,
perfectly.
yeah.
With his hands clean. No one even said, "Oh, it could have been you." No.
Yeah. Even though he gave up some documents that he had,
Yeah, right.
he knows that he put them in the right hands because that's only going to go back and get VD whacked, or going to somehow circle around and just keep his
I
hands
feel
clean.
like it's even like smart to go after VD in that moment too, knowing that you're gonna pin it on Castillo.
yeah,
Right.
It's just like an interesting like
Yeah.
way to even take the blame off yourself even
Yeah.
more.
exactly. I didn't think it was him. I thought it was him.
It's a good subversion of like the sleight of hand thing too, because
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I feel like that trope is just like losing value very quickly.
Yeah.
You know, like it's in a lot of shit nowadays.
Well, that also lends itself to great writing in this series. I mean, the dialogue is
So far.
amazing so far.
Yeah.
You know, even some of those moments between him and Victor. You know, again,
Yeah.
Victor's in the hole again, and he's reminding the kid. You know,
Yeah.
put your head next to those bodies. You know,
Well, speaking of Victor,
You know?
I feel like what's gonna happen by the end of the show is Penguin sacrifices Victor, and like everything is getting pinned on him. Really, you know.
Yeah, I like I
Possible.
said in the first review that we did of this, I don't think we're gonna end up like you're not supposed to like Penguin.
Yeah.
Oh,
At the end
No.
of the day, he's a bad guy.
He
He's
is a bad
piece
guy.
of shit guy.
yeah.
you're not supposed to like Tony Soprano either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, but no one wanted to see him get whacked.
Yeah.
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 You know, so you tuned in every week.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I was thinking exactly the same thing. I said, I even Sophia, as crazy as she is, I just love that character.
Yeah, I mean, of
And-
course, two great characters, but I don't think you're not supposed to
Like them.
Like, right.
Because I feel like will Victor like fit into the Batman Part 2? You know.
Yeah.
You know, my other thing is at the end of this, Penguin could be put into Arkham.
Mm.
And maybe Batman starts off and he gets out of Arkham because he meets somebody in there and they come up with a plan.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like there's definitely got to be a return to Arkham. That isn't just a flashback.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that just be like Sophia going back, but
I
whatever.
guess back to the question that you had asked. I think if anyone is gonna kill Luca, I think it's gonna be Sophia.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I could see that.
could
The
see that.
tension's definitely
given the
growing.
last
could see
conversation
it.
that they had, where
Mhm.
he just like Italy's beautiful this time
Yeah.
of year. You're just crazy. Just go there.
Yeah, she was a little pissed she didn't get to shoot Castillo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will there be a vigilante in the show? So Batman is confirmed not to be, but I feel like there could maybe be like some other one that is like teased for the Batman Part 2. You know?
Maybe that'd be interesting.
Like
Yeah.
a Robin figure?
Maybe. Yeah. Or like some other. I don't really know the
Mhm.
Bat family that well, but
Yeah. I mean, there is a few vigilantes outside of the Bat family that exist in Gotham.
Yeah. Well, like, I wonder, it might have to be something where, like, it wasn't a previous Robin, you know?
Yeah, just like
Like
we
Red
just
Hood
have
or
like
something.
a random Nightwing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
This timeline has who's Joker,
Technically, the Barry Keoghan Joker is in this universe.
which is
He was basically cut from the Batman,
yeah.
but at the end, you can hear him talking to Riddler.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you
So-
can. I forgot that. But like, I think we all watched the cutscene where, like, his teeth and face was completely
Yeah.
fucked
Yeah.
up.
All right. No, because I'm thinking, it would be nice to just have a mention of another potential enemy for Penguin to worry about who's going to try and
Yeah.
take over.
I don't know, though.
Yeah, it's a weird universe because it's so grounded in realism. It's
Right.
like, what are the chances we ever see like Killer Croc or like the
Yeah, right.
Clayface
Yeah.
in
Exactly.
this universe?
Yeah, no mutants around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even like a Bane might be like a push
I don't
in
know.
this universe.
I could see that a little bit.
Yeah.
Though.
Because
That
they
one's,
could
like,
just push up,
more
like, some of the
rational.
steroid type
Yeah.
shit, you know?
Yeah, just roided up.
Even like a Mr. Freeze, I guess, would be semi-rational.
Yeah. I feel like that's the limit, though.
Yeah.
Well, Oz tried to go legitimate. Any
No.
thoughts there?
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
He may want to make it seem like he's going legitimate, but he's
Well,
never
yeah,
doing it.
I think
Nothing's ever legitimate.
he
for
has
him.
mentioned like we're gonna have another club.
Mhm.
So like maybe we open up another club and then everything looks legitimate.
Looks
Well,
legitimate, exactly.
There was also the whole conversation where
Punisher.
he kind of wanted to be
Yeah, he wanted to be like
prohibitionist guy.
that guy that was like, the big mobster.
Yeah, who
But he
supported
always
everyone.
helped everybody.
Yeah.
Got the respect.
Yeah.
Kind of like the real world
Yeah.
one. I forget the
But
name.
again, he was a mobster.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the
Yeah.
end of the day, that person.
Yeah.
was-
Maybe he'll do a kingpin and run for mayor.
Yeah,
you-
that's what
you
I'm
never-
thinking
yeah.
now.
Well,
Maybe there's a few interesting ways it could go. It is like a Tony Soprano-esque character, and like I guess I could kind of see Tony Soprano like fitting into that like Hoffa Teamster type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Closing comments on Penguin before we move on to Agatha.
Well, again, I have to get back to the writing. The production of this is just, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's easy watching. I enjoy watching this show, and it wants you to go for more as it happens.
Yeah,
So I
absolutely
mean,
loving
I
it.
agree.
Yeah.
I loved the ending of this episode.
Mhm.
Sophia and Oz at
Mhm.
like the family's
Yeah.
cemetery
But
area.
Speaking
about
here,
going
it's
for it.
definitely got me thinking that I don't think that, I came into this thinking that he's coming out on top at the end of this. Now I'm having a feeling he could actually lose and be in Arkham at the end of this. But that could be the beginning of something big for him. Because
Yeah.
that's where I think he's going to start his real empire.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to
Yeah.
see. I don't know where it's fully gonna go, but
Mhm.
definitely along for the ride. Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Enjoying it.
I'm thinking along the lines of the Batman movie.
Right.
But the 60s or 70s, the late 60s Batman movie, where all the high crime people were all together,
Right.
and Batman and Robin had to go and stop them.
Yeah. I
Maybe
don't
that's an end game for this.
I don't want the Batman 2 to be like Spider-Man 3, where it's
Yeah,
like we
it's-
have 3 different villains to worry about.
I have a
It's
feeling that
convoluted.
it may
I
happen.
feel like
Because
the
they're all in
first-
Arkham.
The Batman worked well,
Mhm.
like just holding 2 villains, kind of.
Yeah.
So
Do you think, was it all a part of the Penguin's plan, how even the, truck hit went?
no.
No,
Because
that
I
was-
feel
that
like
did
it's a
not.
little bit formulaic how, the last 2 episodes have been, he has a plan, and then,
it
something's...
gets warped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that truck hit went sideways, and he cleaned it up
Right.
to make himself look better.
That's
Right.
Yeah.
that's just what this character is, though.
Yeah.
I guess.
He's
Yeah.
like I said, ultimate bullshit artist.
Yeah, and
where
he
it's
thinks
like,
on his feet quickly.
Yeah.
But he cleaned up that problem.
Yeah, I guess.
He's willing to sacrifice anyone and anything
Mhm.
to have it go.
Yeah. He wasn't
Right.
supposed to be in that truck.
No, he
Yeah.
was supposed to be in the last car.
Yeah, and he knew from the beginning this is not going to go well, and he was ready for it.
Yeah, and like Castillo's a person that never wronged Penguin, as far as I know.
No,
you know.
he got sacrificed.
Yeah.
On to Agatha?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess let me just start off by saying this was a really, really fucking good episode of Agatha.
Yeah.
This was an amazing
I agree.
episode of Agatha. I really got
really
into this
liked
one.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I enjoyed that a lot.
This was episode 4, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
The groovy
So
looking.
before we start, though, Blackheart, whatever her name is, she joins as the Green
Right.
Witch now.
Mm-hmm.
Did she crawl out of the grave of Mrs. Hart?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
It looked like it, yeah.
That's
Her
pretty
name is
interesting.
also Rio Vidal.
Rio
Yeah.
Vidal, that's right.
That's confirmed now?
Rio. Yes.
Well, they call it Rio.
Rio.
They call
but
it
is,
Rio,
yeah.
but
Yeah. Which mean you have a theory of what she actually
Yeah,
is.
I
Rio
think she's a
Vidal,
lot more
Green,
than that.
yeah, Green
Yeah.
Witch,
Yeah.
and they definitely had in a relationship. That's definitely
That's
confirmed.
definitely
I like the
confirmed, yeah.
part where she was asked if she was a Green Witch, and she was like, "I'm the Green."
But she did that voice. I like jumped when she did that. I'm the Green Witch.
I don't think Agatha will ever be as powerful as she was with the Darkhold,
Mm-hmm.
but I do think she will be able to go toe to toe with Wanda again. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think she'll be able to like ever beat Wanda, unless it's like temporarily. But yeah, I think she'll be pretty powerful again.
Here's my prediction. I think she will be as powerful as her coven is.
Yes.
Only as powerful as her whole coven is.
And I have to agree with that. She's not going to be that powerful without. She has to keep them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not going to be sacrificed. I think the only one that really dies here is Mrs. Hart.
I think they're all gonna die.
Do you really?
They're all dead.
I don't think so. I think that she's going to find out that she's only as strong as them.
Mm-hmm.
I also feel like there's something like from last episode with the manual magic. I feel like that's gonna somehow tie into like how she gets her power back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You
Well, I
know?
mean, they've technically been using analog magic to get through the road thus
Yeah.
far.
So
Yeah, pretty wild.
Yeah, I'm going nuts for the series right now.
It's so much better than I thought it was going to be. That
Yeah.
The individual witches
Yeah.
are little by little now
Mhm.
starting to come into their own.
Yes,
And
grow on me a bit.
Yeah. What is Lapone? Is her
Yeah, I have to say she's one of my
Patty LaPone.
favorites.
Patty Lapone.
And again, I said it last
Incredible.
week. I'm not a fan of Patty LaPone. I think she's over the top, but she plays this crazy bitch witch
Yeah.
pretty damn well. You know,
She's maybe
Yeah.
been my favorite actor.
and
of
I
the whole
think
thing.
there's so much information coming out of her when she goes off on these things and she doesn't remember. You know, and then she comes out, what? You know,
yeah.
but there's a lot of information there.
I just like implied history a lot, and just like or almost like forgotten history,
Yeah.
and just like very old characters too.
Yeah.
You know, it just like
Yeah.
I don't know, it hits well for me.
Mhm.
I feel like Billy's identity has to be, or Joe Locke's identity has to be revealed soon, because I feel like not soon, but like it can't be revealed until they're off the road. You know,
Yeah.
or until they're about to get off it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, this past episode, she found out, and I think the whole time she thought it was her son, and she just found out it's not.
I
At the
feel like
end
that
of
was
this
supposed to
episode.
be a big reveal. You know,
Yeah.
too.
It's supposed to be, but
Mhm.
like everybody knows that this character is Billy.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm,
does everybody know? Like, we're in the know, you know?
I think a lot of people before this series are probably just like watching stuff.
But, like,
to
how
know
many
what this is
people
gonna be.
fucking do that?
I think a lot more than you think.
Well, remember, the sigil affects the witch that cast it
Yeah.
also. So technically, once it's cast, even like if it was Agatha's son and for some reason she decided to do that to protect the son, she had to know that she would not be able to recognize her own son.
Yeah.
If it was the Scarlet Witch doing it to protect her son, you know, the purpose here is still up in the air. So I kind of think, like you said, the reveal has to come out, but it may not be until the final episode because I don't know how good it'll be or who it'll benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because,
know.
like, what would be the point of knowing
Right.
too early, you know?
Right. But now she definitely knows it's not her son. If
Yeah.
if she decides to believe Rio. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she does.
The way I'm looking at it is, it's strange because remember how he got hurt and then he was like laying there and she was just basically worried about him. I think she knows that he's not her son because when the second he started asking what happened to your son, she went back to Agatha mode to like get the fuck up. You got yourself here.
Well, it could also be something where, like, she knows it's not her son, but, like,
Yeah.
Rio's telling her not to treat him like his son or her son.
Like she's basically telling her, don't have hope.
Yeah.
But although she did say sometimes you can know somebody without,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so she's very like
Yeah.
that, you know, where
Yeah.
she could
If
feel.
she knew it was her son, she wouldn't have, I don't know, reacted the way she did.
I know.
There's no doubt she knows this.
Right.
kid.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even to that point, like, let's say she is in the thinking of it's her son, and like that reaction is like, I think it's just all based in like shame of like
What she
I
did.
sacrificed him
Yeah.
to do something. You know, it's like she wouldn't want to tell him this, and then
You know
it
what's
comes out later. It's like, oh, you are my son. By the way.
what's to say that she figures it out because his brother shows up?
Maybe.
You know.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird.
And even before anybody says anything, she's like, now it hits her.
we don't fully know what everyone's purpose for the road is.
No, we
Right,
don't.
correct.
We don't.
We
Because
don't-
that's even changing. You know?
Yeah, that's
That was
point.
kind of freaky when she says, my mother died on the road. But her mother was, she died on tour on
Yeah.
the road.
Oh yeah,
Which
But
I
it was
had-
just the
had
way that she
Hellfire.
said that.
Yeah, which
right?
I even
Yeah.
asked him, like, did she
Yeah.
die on the road or
Yeah.
did she
Well,
die
her
in
mother
the
was
concert?
a witch
Yes.
as well. But it is a good double entendre there.
It was. But then you see the fire was probably caused by that curse.
It's
know?
crazy. I the way I looked at it was the mother was singing that song to protect her daughter.
Yeah.
Remember, I think the episode before where she says, "I can't protect you." You know, Grandma died,
Yeah.
whatever, and I can't protect you.
Yeah.
But I think that's what she had been doing her entire life as a rock star was keep singing this song so that I can protect the ones I love from the curse.
And she said all the audience and her followers were
Or
the
her
coven.
I love that. Great writing
Yeah.
to me. That was kind of
Yeah.
like,
I did like that as well.
you know,
Yeah.
that little
My only thing that I have with this episode was demon thingy-majiggy. That
the
was flying around.
CGI.
It's not even the CGI, the makeup. It looked so...
Yeah, I kind of liked it. I thought it was
liked
okay.
especially like with all the camera work that went into it. It just felt like very Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
It was
It gave
very
me
fun.
90s Spawn vibes.
I agree, but that's why I liked it.
Yeah. Oh, don't forget they were retro, right?
That's,
they were,
yeah, they're in
Yep.
retro. See, that's true. I forget that.
Yeah.
These weird, crazy zooms they were doing, just like split diopter shot was in there. Just like,
With that
where
said,
has this
I
been,
thought the
Marvel?
teen looked pretty damn cool dressed the way he was in this.
Yeah.
Makeup,
With the hair and
wardrobe,
everything, yeah.
cinematography.
Yep.
In my opinion, blows Penguin away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder, like, if there's gonna be some reveal on who set the curse on that family.
correct. Yeah.
Like, I wonder if it could be Patty LaPone,
Maybe.
Ah, maybe.
It might be.
and that's why she has the whole history. But it almost seemed like it was the one witch's like mother speaking through her.
Yeah.
I
Kind
feel
of like that
Patty
one scene in
LaPone's, like,
Ant-Man.
almost like possessed by just like dead witches. Like,
Very cool, though. So now the curse is officially
lifted,
done.
Yeah. So they made it through the second trial.
And they looked groovy.
They looked groovy. No, I like the whole idea of the recording studio and everything else. It just worked well. The 70s.
With Rio, that one scene with the booth where she presses the button.
Yeah, so everyone
hear.
could hear.
She said, and I get my bodies.
The bodies.
So me and you think that she's the representation of death, that she's there for just for them.
She's a collector, I guess.
Yeah.
But again, it goes back like we're thinking Agatha and her were lovers or whatever, but that doesn't mean that Rio looked like that when they knew each other back then either. She could have been something totally different.
Even when the teen got hurt and she looked at Rio like, no, don't take him, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another reason why I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
Why would she have that
Why
much
would she
power
have
if
much
she's just a green witch?
Exactly.
You know? Or the green witch, you know.
Well, whose side do you think Rio's gonna be on by the end of the show?
Rio side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's like, do you want Deadpool on your team? You know, even if he is on your team, like he's still like a wild card.
Yeah.
Honestly, like if I'm thinking big, I think Rio is the one pulling all the strings about where everybody else goes. I mean, like to the point where she might be Mephisto.
Yeah, but
You know,
that's actually pretty good.
Well-
But for now, I say, because don't forget that Patty LaPone's character, she went up to her and put her hand on her shoulder. Don't think for a minute that I forgot what you did back there.
Yeah.
You know, we don't forget.
Isn't Mephisto like stuck in hell or whatever? Right.
I
We
guess
are on the
I don't
road,
know.
though. Maybe
Like-
the doors of
Yeah.
hell can
Well, she
open.
was also in Agatha's house.
I'm gonna
so-
say that my guess is Rio is like an agent of them.
Yeah, that's what
can see
I'm
that.
thinking.
Well, I'm curious. Was Agatha like in love with Mephisto?
I don't know. How did she get a son? And
Yeah.
whose son is it? You know, it has had to be somebody else along the way.
Intriguing.
Yeah.
Do you think she's softening?
No.
Agatha?
No, not with Agatha. There's no softening. She can be a little light, but there's no softening.
No?
I think
Do you think she's still the
I
evil?
think softening is the wrong word.
Yeah.
Like she might be using her powers or whatever for something else, but I don't think she'll change that much.
No.
I don't know. I think that she's not like we're gonna get to some point where she's gonna need her coven to defeat something. Like she won't be strong enough to defeat whatever it is by herself.
So I have a feeling the witches have to accept their trauma to get their power back.
Yeah, I mean I think it's just
But-
as simple as that.
Yeah.
Honestly. It's not
But do
much
they
further.
get it back only if they make it till the end of the road?
If they don't get to the end of the road, they die. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah.
Like
But-
maybe this is just what the road is. You know, the
But the
fucking road
potion
of life or
witch
whatever.
actually is getting more powerful,
Yeah.
right? She was
She
able
is.
to heal
That's right.
him.
Yeah.
You know, they
And
were all
it-
surprised
with almost
too,
like
right?
no ingredients.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were
Yeah,
surprised.
water
too.
and
It's like,
moon.
look what you just did.
I need water and
Yeah.
moonlight.
Yeah,
Like she
water
knew
and
it and she
moonlight.
did it.
I also like this is from the previous episode, but like how the ingredients are just like modernized now. There's that one with like, I need 14 billion year old, you know.
Yeah. Oh,
And then it,
petroleum jelly.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think for any of the witches to switch sides, like it would have to be on Agatha, you know, like they would all have to be against her together, you know, except for Rio.
I think like none of the witches in the coven trust Agatha or Rio, and at some point it's gonna have to be revealed what the history between Agatha and Rio is, and then the cards will fall where they may after that.
I think once you're in a coven, you're in a coven.
Yeah.
I think it's balanced. You have the powerful witch, and they may not love her, but they know that she's the one that's going to protect the coven when they aren't powerful enough. And at the same time,
The coven's gonna protect her.
yeah, she needs the coven to keep her strength. So you might be right. Yeah, I think the coven might make it through the whole road.
I think the coven makes it too, and I think that they're going to need each other, and Agatha's definitely going to need them. Now, at the end of WandaVision, was it the coven who was trying to burn her or something? Is that
No, that was way back. That was her original coven. She was evil, I guess, and,
Yeah.
and I don't even think she was the leader.
No, she
One
wasn't,
of the
but-
leaders.
But she tried to take over, or she was
Well,
trying
all
to...
of them fired on her,
Yeah.
whatever, to try and kill her. But that's actually increased
It gave her
power.
power.
With that again, how old is Agatha? Because like she's at least 150 years old.
Nah,
then.
more
No,
than
she's
that.
more
I
than
think
that. I think she's the oldest,
Yeah.
and
'Cause
without even
I'm
knowing.
just saying, like the last time I could see some like fucking witch shit like that happening, because it looked kind of like the 1800s at
Right.
most, you know.
Right.
See, I was thinking 1600s.
Like Salem witch trials.
yeah, I was thinking
Yeah.
1600s.
But she was already established. She already had.
Yeah.
She was already powerful. So she had to accumulate that over 100, 200 years, I guess.
Yeah.
True.
But I think that Rio is that old too. I think that's how far back they go.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then her ultimate thing was the Darkhold when she got her hands on the
Yeah.
Darkhold.
Do you think there's a chance that this show anyway crosses over to like the Monster-verse side of the MCU, like Werewolf by Night or like the Bloodstone stuff?
I was thinking about that the other day and saying those shows can't just die, and there has to be a link. The fact that this show is so good, I'd like to see it sort of.
I think it would have to be through Mephisto.
Yeah.
Well, Mephisto was mentioned here, so it's not dead yet.
Didn't someone mention vampires in this last episode?
Oh, last episode she
Remember?
said I got
Yeah,
that's a
vampire.
vampire, right?
Yeah.
But then I knocked his other tooth out.
That was
Yeah.
Patty LaPone.
Patty
That was
LaPone,
Patty LaPone.
yeah.
All right, I thought that was a nice
Yeah,
lead into
yeah,
another
yeah.
section. Yeah, that's why I love it. I think the
Yeah, I mean we have like
possibilities.
witches, so it's
Yeah.
like I guess the mention of vampires.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
who knows?
that made me feel good. I was
mention
like,
of vampire,
oh.
mention of Mephisto. So there's definitely something
It also
more
like
here.
I guess raises a question of like where and when and what universe does Werewolf by Night stuff even take place.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just want to see the Man Thing
Yeah.
back.
Well,
Me too.
It's an interesting.
I think Man Thing's on the road.
maybe.
He is the road, and that's why that one thing and then took the Green Witch, the original Green Witch. And, he's not the road then; he's the area off the road.
The sludge.
So right now, the show is kind of just them versus the environment with some like little bit of infighting.
Mhm.
So that's why I feel like if we do get different sides, it would be everybody against Rio and Agatha. If Rio's not like helping,
The main villain of the show is going to be revealed.
yeah, I feel like it could also be Mephisto.
Yeah,
I'm
probably
thinking
is
Mephisto.
probably Mephisto or Rio and Mephisto. or-
Yeah.
I don't even looking. I'm not even looking for a villain. I'm kind of
Yeah.
looking at it as a quest.
Yeah.
With just these bunch of
Yeah.
different people.
I think that's also why I'm enjoying this so much, because like it's completely separate from every other Marvel show in
Mhm.
the sense of structure, where it's
Right.
like the hero gets their power,
right.
overcomes the villain type
Right.
of thing. It's just like everybody's kind of just overcoming themselves,
Right.
almost
I mean, like,
individually.
Even in Lord of the Rings, you had like Sauron. You know,
Yeah.
that's the type of role I'm thinking Mephisto would play. You know?
Right.
Yeah, I mean clearly there is some other powers at bay here.
And unfortunately, technically, I guess Agatha is the villain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're on her quest, but
Yeah.
I always now I'm tending to forget that.
Yeah, we forget that she's actually a bad.
Yeah, she was the big villain in
And
WandaVision.
same thing as Penguin, where it's like you're
Yeah.
kind of not supposed to like her.
Yeah.
So honestly, I feel like Nicholas Scratch is kind of just a red herring, because like we were saying, it was supposed to be a kind of big reveal that Billy is not. So yeah, I just feel like it's really only gonna be explored the way like a good red herring should be, where like it's only used to explore history of a character.
It almost doesn't matter happened between Agatha and her son, because we already know what happened because, you know.
Because honestly, I'm not really interested in Nicholas Scratch that much.
Yeah, I
I'm just
mean,
not.
I think the way that I just said it is kind of like the extent of what it needs.
I don't think
It's
we've
almost-
seen the end of that, though.
It's like the same as like I would have liked to not really know what happened to Wolverine and Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
I know what happened as a result of it, and it's like more interesting to me to keep it a mystery.
I think we're going to find more about this as she gets closer to having to do her trial.
It's a good point, actually.
And I think that there's been information in each episode sort of giving us back information about her son. So I think it's going to build and something's going to happen at her trial.
I'm just wondering now why no one knows who the child is except for Rhea. How much more powerful do you have to be to look above the sigil? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, like we were saying, it might just be a thing where like she's telling him not to treat him like one.
Well, she said it's not your son. Right?
Yeah.
He's saying to the point of, don't treat this teen like it's your son.
Yeah. Because
know,
she
so-
could also know what actually happened to Nicholas Scratch. You know, like she doesn't have to know who. The
I'm
kid
pretty certain she does know.
is. Like maybe
I'm pretty
she was
certain
there
she
when.
probably was the catalyst for what
Yeah,
happened.
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because remember how she explained it? She's like, I had to do something that I didn't want to
Yeah.
for and hurt somebody here, which she mentioned.
Or
Agatha.
somebody I loved, yeah.
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 Which I think you might be right. She's an agent of Mephisto, and she had to take her son.
That was the deal.
Yeah, maybe, you know, Agatha, some connection of the Darkhold and Mephisto, and like Agatha wanted the Darkhold, and the only way to get it was sacrificing her son. And whether she knew that Rhea would be the one to do that or not beforehand, like that's probably what happened.
Will any of the characters be villains by the end of the series? So I could see Rio probably is the most likely to be one.
Yeah, or just revealed to been like we've been talking about, like on the grander scale of it. I think she is working.
It's also
with a higher
interesting that
villain.
like you can bring somebody onto the road like after one of the trials, you know? Like technically that could just mean that you could bring like anybody, I guess. Well, I guess it
Well,
is
she
like
was
more
summoned.
of a need thing.
I mean,
Yeah,
they
she-
needed a Green Witch. They didn't necessarily summon her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess she had no choice.
They did say it technically was breaking the rule,
Mm.
but you know they're rule breakers, I guess, is what they summed it up to,
And
and they're
it-
kind
and
of just misfits anyway.
Considering Mrs. Hart actually wasn't a witch.
Yeah,
You know, so
know.
they technically didn't have a full coven.
Yeah. Anything else about the show?
it just continues to amaze me with production value,
Mhm.
and especially for an MCU show. Like I don't know where this was.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that we were discussing is like sometimes that stretched frame is a bit too much.
I feel like it's a little bit weird to have like that wide screen on TV, and it even like it switches in between it sometimes. But I don't know.
I do like
yeah.
the use of multiple cameras and just like fun camera effects that they've
I
been
don't know.
doing.
It kind of just feels a little bit Michael Bay-ish when like you switch without having that big a reason, because it's not like an IMAX moment or anything. You know?
I thought that it was best used in this episode out of the four so far.
I mean, this is the episode where I noticed it. So.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, like all those like weird zooms and the split diopter.
Well, yeah, I don't like split diameter that much because I just don't like how it looks. But I do agree that like it did have a lot of good cinematography other than the very wide screen.
Yeah, and I feel like that super widescreen thing is just like a cheat to look cinematic, where
Yeah.
it's like okay, but
Yeah, because like there's even the whole meme from like games where like once you go into a cutscene, the
yeah,
black bars show up.
Enjoyable week.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, not bad.
Did you guys say Penguin or Agatha? What are you leaning towards this?
I'm an Agatha fan.
I'm an Agatha fan too, but to me they're two totally different
Yeah,
stories.
that's what Yeah.
So I can't even compare them side by side.
Yeah,
I agree. I think they're both incredible. I'm probably gonna give the edge to Agatha.
Yeah.
I'm definitely more excited to see what happens in Agatha, but like I am enjoying Penguin more.
Right. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Different.
I'm going with Agatha.
In a different
Yeah.
way.
Agatha's really got me hooked.
It's honestly hard. Could again though in like 10 minutes be like, but Penguin's really
Yeah.
fucking good
Mm.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah. They both deserve their praise.
Yeah.
At this point, anyway, they both deserve their praise.
I just like the magic system in Agatha too. I just fucking love when a magic system is good and you can
It's
just
just,
like
like,
figure
very
out.
And
well-
they're
like,
consistent with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and when
Yeah.
different parts of it like stack on top of each other, it's
Yeah.
just
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like you, exactly.
And I'm really digging like the horror elements of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agatha.
Like
Yeah.
I said,
Which
potential.
I think there's more coming,
Oh, yeah.
which I cannot wait for.
Potential. They could use it, and like the little drops of,
Yeah.
oh, what's that mark? Oh, I got bit by a vampire.
And the
Yeah.
good thing
Yeah.
about it is there's not really jump scares, which I fucking I really cannot. It's not enjoyable. It's such a cheap fucking thing to do. But it's so far what they're doing is pretty good.
I feel
I
like
don't
Marvel
actually
for a
enjoy it.
while has been like, oh, we're finally gonna start doing the weird stuff.
Right.
Where it's the multiverse, and then everything just became like one big advertisement for like a bit.
Yep.
And then now it's like, oh, we are kind of really doing some weird stuff here. Like, this is kooky and not really mainstream
Right.
comic book stuff. So I'm really digging that.
Except for who? Morbius, I guess, and originally Blade.
I wouldn't. Well, yeah, but like.
But no one's
That's
actually
like
been
Sony.
pulled. No real vampire has been pulled into
No.
the MCU yet.
Yeah.
So.
True.
Well, technically, Blade exists in the post-credit scene.
They
of
do
Game
now,
Thrones.
yeah.
Yeah, I was telling AJ there was a whole thing if Mahershala is still gonna play him, and like if he doesn't, then that's gonna be his only appearance in the MCU, other than Luke Cage. But
Bizarre.
Yeah, it's good to have Marvel and DC both putting out really quality content right now.
Yes,
Yeah.
agreed. Makes my entertainment night a lot better. You walk away feeling like the shit for the day, and then all of a sudden you sit there and you watch quality shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it helps.
There's no doubt.
All right, so we will see you next week, kicking off our like Road to Halloween type of thing here.
Yes.
The Witch's Road to Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Van Helsing.
I'm glad we're not watching Joker.
Why does it smell like wet dog in here?
Let you know you're alive!